What's up, y'all? It's your girl Jay Renee with Prison Riot Radio and Hip Hop Humanism Radio. I hope that you're doing well. This morning, I got somebody on the phone. It might be the afternoon. Who knows? That I've been trying to chase down. She been looking for me. I've been looking for her. Okay. Miss Candii. I done sung this song to her. Anybody that listens to me know I'm a realist, just like Candii. Don't get me started.
Hey,
Hello, Miss Candii.
what's going on?
How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm just trying to stay alive, yo. Trying to
Aren't we both? Aren't we both?
trying to stay alive. I've heard, like I told you, your reputation has definitely preceded you, and it was a great one. You know what I'm saying? But
Thank
I
you.
want to give you an opportunity to define yourself. Let our listeners know who you are, what you got going on, sis.
All right. So my name is TS Candii. That's TS Candii, and that's Candy with two I's because I never question myself with a Y. I'm the executive director of Black Trans Nation, um, the president of Slam Vintage Urban. I can go. I'm an author of Becoming Candy. I can go on and on. I'm from the South, so my roots and everything come from the South. That good Southern Bill, So yeah, so I'm up here currently in New York, where I currently wear many hats as, a paralegal, force as legal assistant, court reporter, notary, private detective. I do a lot of work, not only for the LGBT TGNC, the Black TGNC community, but for individuals that is currently, incarcerated. And things of that nature, whatever that looks like, pen pals, um, affidavit writing, um, case search. We even review cases. There's been an instance where my my uncle, he's actually incarcerated. He's facing life. And I it's so crazy on the way that we got in connection, how we got in connection. I want to say like this year.
Yeah.
um but yes, it's really crazy, and I actually want to say this because it's really weird. um so one morning I woke up. It was probably about like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I went on Facebook, and I had a friend request, and the friend request was from a page that had my father name, first and last name, his picture. So, but mind you, I'm already friends with my father on Facebook, from this
Right.
place.
So
So
you
it
like,
was,
who the
I'm
hell
thinking
is
of every,
this?
yeah.
Right.
Well, no, I'm thinking that it's my father maybe created a new page,
Okay.
So I'm thinking it's a new page that my father created. Um, and I would, accepted it. I went through the friends list and things of that nature, and um it was about only he only had 5 friends at the time,
Okay.
and one of the friends was my uncle. And somehow my uncle, reached out to me like within that same time frame. My uncle reached out, sent a message, and I kind of knew who it was, Clarence Hayes, which was a real big case in Tennessee, where they alleged that he was um, they alleged that he theorized a shooting that happened in Tennessee that killed a child.
Okay.
NAACP and everything, took on this case, was on this case, and he had a co-defendant. Um, and they actually let the co-defendant go, and the co-defendant actually was the shooter.
Ain't that some shit?
Um, and they charged him with. They told him that he was charged with, basically being the brains of the
Operation.
killing,
Yeah.
yeah, of the operation, and but the reality was that on his court documents, because he's a black male, that I believe that on his court documents they charged him with murder and didn't think that anyone was going to review or go over those documents because he's been in prison for 15 years now.
Yeah.
17, 18 years
Yeah.
now. In Tennessee. Um, and, so I said that to say that, he reached out to me and I was, talking to him about his case and, and I wanted to know, what was happening. My grandmother, she, had passed away, which is his mother. He's my uncle on my father's side. She always wanted us to meet because at the time that she was telling us that she was telling me that she wanted us to meet, I was a private detective in Georgia.
Okay.
And I was doing detective work. So when I moved to New York, um, to give a little background, like educational background, other than the previous, I don't have a high school diploma, um, and the GED I have, I don't have. I obtained a high school. I obtained a accreditation to equivalent to a high school diploma through a church.
Okay.
And with that church, I then was able to go to Blackstone Institute to obtain my which is a college, to obtain my paralegal and legal assistant. And I want to just give a shout out to Blackstone Institute, the college, that because that college is a college that's within the prisons,
Right.
and and due to that college being within the prisons, we know that the prison. Oh, baby, okay. We know that the prisons. We know that the prisons. We know that the prisons have a lot of faith based
Yes.
within them, and they some prisons, depending on what state you're in, you can obtain a high school diploma or GED through a church, a faith based, as long as they are have accredited by a educational institute.
Yep.
By the boards and governments for them to be able to, you know, give those particular,
Right. Right. The
certificates or
checks in the
diplomas.
boxes. The checks in the boxes.
Yes.
Because even though you didn't finish that stuff, you not no dummy. You didn't put up with me for about
Mm-mm.
2 hours this morning. Okay, we gonna tell them about it. You know what I'm saying? You not a dummy. Sometimes your school is the hard knock life. You know what I'm saying? That other
Mhm.
school is
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
is a is a check the box. So anybody that's listening to this, if you don't have your high school diploma, if you never finished, you can. It don't matter how old you are. You can go get it.
Yeah.
Candy
Yeah.
done went to she done went to
Absolutely.
college. Okay?
Come on.
It's attainable.
If I can do it, you all can do it. And to be honest with you, um, a lot of it is, I say experience.
Yes.
As long as um, as long as you're dedicated and you are into, you know, um, bettering yourself and being the better you, anything is possible. And I do want to mention that I when I moved to the state of New York, um I actually repealed a law here. It was Penal Law 240.37, which was the loitering for the purpose of prostitution.
Okay.
I was a victim of this particular law that I'm speaking on. I was homeless at the time, and I came outside, and I was, I was smoking a blunt. I was couldn't smoke in the building, so I decided I smoked it. And there was a undercover that pulled up, badges was flipped over. I'm new to New York, it was like a regular vehicle, unmarked,
Yeah.
so I'm not knowing, it's police, so I'm minding my business. So they basically gave me two options. They told me that they would give me $1,500 if I become an informant.
That part.
And if I become an informant and I bring them to drugs and guns, but I didn't do that. So they gave me a second option. They was like, or you give me oral sex and we'll let you go.
That part. That's the part they never talk about.
So, hmm
That's the
the
part they never
sexual
talk
abuse
about.
and the, yes. So to be honest with you, I did. I pray that that these throats and tonsils and everything work as well to keep me from going behind them bars, because as
Yeah.
a trans woman in custody, my heart is out. I love y'all. Y'all are being heard. Y'all are seen. We are here.
Yes.
You have community within us that are fighting for you. Um, Keep your head up, your heart open. But in reference to this case, I was glad that I wasn't entrapped. You know, um, when I completed, those services. Well, when I was coerced into those services, um, and I was able to, when they released me out the vehicle, and I was able to run across the first crosswalk, I was like just a breath of release, not knowing that I can continue to run, because I didn't know other officer grabbed me up, or anything of
Yeah.
that nature.
Yeah.
So it pissed me off that they end up saying that they thought that I was a prostitute.
Right. Like, why I
Um,
gotta be a
and they
prostitute?
profiled.
Cause I'm out here
Yes, they
fly as
profiled
hell. Why
me.
I gotta be a prostitute?
Yes. So they profiled me as being a prostitute. So a couple of years later, um, got a knock on the door, where I became an activist. Well, didn't even know that I was becoming an activist. To be honest with you, didn't even know
We
what
don't
I was
never
doing.
know.
I just knew that
We
I
don't
was.
never know.
I just I Right. I just knew that I was telling what I was telling what happened to me
Yeah.
about a specific law to a nonprofit organization. Next thing you know, I had cameras in front of me. I was reading scripts, and
Yeah.
I was fighting this law, which is the walking while trans. Anybody can Google this, walking while trans, where I was in New York Times, publishing New York Times over three times.
Yeah.
Um, Fighting this law. This law was created in 1970. It's a law that at the time was over 44 years. I mean, it's over 44
Yeah.
years of age. And I was able to get that law repealed, removed, and over 10,000 cases was dismissed,
Yeah.
from prostitution. Over 809 unlicensed massage parlor cases was dismissed. So I say that to say that there's a lot of laws that is put in place to, keep us, criminalized. And once I get my heads and thoughts on these and hands on these specific laws, then there's when we can be able to bring noise about these policies and laws that's
Yes.
in place
Yes.
that is just criminalizing our
Yes.
existence.